Hello, this is Peter Goubarev. I'm out here in Surrey right now, near King George Station. I just wanted to talk about something that I'm just been on my mind a lot, something that I think defines architecture for me. Basically, it's what I've been thinking a lot about from the time that I've finished reading Ayn Rand's book, Ayn Rand, however you say her name. Which is like, what makes a good building, right? Because everyone has a different idea about what styles they like, what, how it should be designed, where it should be placed. Some people like gritty environments, some people like sterilized cities. I think really though there's one thing that you can kind of say in general about every building that defines whether or not it's good. And this is also something that applies to people in a way, which is good buildings, good people, not good people, good buildings and people that you can truly, people that are truly respectful, I guess, are those who have an identity. They know who they are, and they don't try to be something else. And that's something that you can see pretty easily around here, actually. If you take a look, I'm here at Concord. Whoa, my camera got stuck in my glove. 1 second. There we go. You can see these tall towers. They're very tall, actually. I think they're like 40 stories. And they're all exactly the same, and they could be anywhere in the world. These guys don't have an identity. They really don't stand out at all. And even they don't have to stand out necessarily amongst the whole world, right? You don't have to build like Burj Khalifa everywhere. But these buildings don't even have a personality. They just have blank walls. And the people that live here haven't been able to put in their own, I guess, energy into the building, or their own identity into the building. And then you have other buildings. Let's see, up there, for example, you've got that weird wedge. This building, it has an identity, right? It kind of knows what it is. It's an office. It's a quirky modern office building, and it doesn't try to do anything else. It's simple, It doesn't try to use decoration of any kind or weird stuff like that, other than perhaps modern style colors and a form to convey its message that it's a quirky office building. That's what makes that building up there have a nice identity. Then you've got other buildings that have an identity, or have some sort of identity, but they're trying to be something else. And out here, I don't think I really see it that much because these are all modern condos, but there's a lot of places. That's basically most buildings, right? These are buildings that are built as cheaply as possible, and then they'll have a little bit of decorations hopped on top. If it's classical, they'll have some Greek columns made of wood, or they'll have, if it's a modern one, then they'll have just blank walls. They'll have perhaps a little bit, they'll have some nice shapes on the side or something. These buildings are not that nice either. They do have an identity. They know what their purpose is, which is to be a house, to be a building, but they don't. But then they try to cover it up with, I'm this, I'm that. And because they often end up with buildings that look disgusting, they look ugly, they look like they're disproportioned. Usually they're not built by architects, they're built by contractors who are more about getting a cheap building built. And honestly, the kind of people to buy these kind of houses are people who don't really care about how the house looks, but more about getting a nice place to live. So that's just something that just a little tangent wanted to go on. Applying it to people though, right? It's people who have their own identity and who know who they are and stand by the principles that make up their identity. It's them who are the most respectful, right? It's the easiest to look at a person like this and say, wow, this person is successful, this person knows what they're doing. Well, while I guess this is kind of the main message that Ayn Rand is trying to get across too. If you're somebody who gets all of your ideas and all of your mind and every thought you have, it comes from seeing someone else's idea and saying, well, this is what's popular, and so I should believe it. That's not right. It's something interesting to think about. and something I've been thinking obviously a little bit too much about since I've been reading the book, but just something interesting. I think that's all I have as well. That's all I was going to talk about. Yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing. Something interesting. From reading Ayn Rand's book and kind of getting a big download of her philosophy, you could say. Another thing that she kind of writes about is the idea that everything should be done for your own your goal in life should be personal happiness. Happiness that you derive from true happiness, true contentness, really, that you derive from the work that you do, from doing what you love in life. And I'd say that's interesting. It's very, and I've actually, looking back on my own life, I found that to be true. I'm only really content, and I'm not worrying about the past or the future, and I'm only really present whenever I focus on my passions. I focus on the work that makes me truly happy. I often like to sketch buildings. I like to do stuff like that. That's what makes me the happiest. And so I find that for the most part, what she's writing is true. Her ideas are mostly true. But they've also caused me to have a little bit of a moral dilemma too at the same time. Because I'm a vegan, and I've been vegan for a year and a half now, actually. And after reading her book, I kind of thought about it, right? If you're not supposed to do things that are they're just benefit for the public or benefit your other people's opinions of you, and just instead do things that actually benefit you and make you happy, then that's the main purpose of veganism kind of goes away, doesn't it, right? Because the main purpose of veganism is to protect animals, protect others. And of course, it's possible to connect your happiness to the happiness of other animals, but Ayn Rand's whole argument is that that's not how it should be. You know what I mean? So it's something that I've been thinking about, because my main motive for veganism has just been completely challenged, and I don't know what to think now. Not 100% sure. Of course, I've also thought about like other possible motives for being vegan, right? There's, other than the whole ethical reason of that animals should not be killed for consumption, for health reasons. It can be argued that you don't have to completely get rid of animal products to get most of the health effects you get from being vegan. Even if you eat a mostly vegan diet, if you have something that has a little bit of milk in it, like soup from a Subway or something, I don't know, then it's not going to have any real negative health effects. So it's just something interesting to think about. I wonder if anyone's watching, if you've gone through the same dilemma, just let me know what you've thought about this. Perhaps I have something to learn. Perhaps I'll find my own true ideology over the next few years, over my life in general. But yeah, that's all for now.